Greetings. My name is Dixon, and I'm here to speak with you about the system that I'm currently designing, the Pinnacle Interactive Gradebook Notification System. You may hear me reference it by its acronym PIGNS, which is spelled similar to signs, so I pronounce it Pines. Now, allow me to address one of the issues that my system will address. I am a teacher, and one of the biggest complaints I hear from some of my parents is that they were not aware that their child was failing or that their attendance was low. And one of the issues that I have with that statement is that we do have online grade books, so parents have 24-hour access to their students' grades and attendance. When I reference that, many times I get from parents that they just did not receive the notification, or they weren't able to access the system and they needed something to let them know immediately that their child was failing when grades were inputted. That would have helped a lot, because now that class size have grown with teachers, sometimes it's harder for teachers to call parents of every failing student as soon as the student starts failing. So we want to make sure that we catch those students early so that they don't fall behind. One big concern right now is the dropout rate across the nation. It is at one of the highest levels it has been in the last few years. So there's been a big push to push students into increasing their student achievement and to increase the graduation rate. So one of the ways by doing that is by, of course, contacting the parents. So what happens? The lack of communication between the parent and teachers have shown in previous studies that negatively affects student achievement. It has also been shown that poor attendance affects student achievement. So one of the greatest fixes for this problem is to provide real-time updates of student progress, and we can do that by the online gradebook. Now, Pines is an online gradebook system, but the difference from this system as compared to many other systems is this system intent. The goal of this system is to have an embedded email feature where the emails can be sent within the system from teacher to parent, or we could send notifications from teacher to parents. Say, for instance, as a grade is being inputted, or if there's a criteria set to send out a notification, the teacher would have the capability of sending that notification to the parent, to their method of choice, whether it be email, but more specifically their cell phone, because most adults now have cell phones and receive some type of alert. So now that notification feature will immediately let the parent know that I need to go check my child's progress. If something is not right, we can catch it now. It will also allow that parent to print progress reports. And we could also get rid of having to wait until report cards get printed in order to see what the grades are in the class. The parents will have the option to go ahead and print those report cards. All right, so this system, the Pines, is an online grade book that's going to track the grades and attendance of each student. It will also give the teacher the capability to send emails to the parents. It'll give the parents the capability to send them back to the teacher, so they both will be able to send and receive. In addition to that, parents will get notifications about grades. The student will also be able to view grades and attendance. They just will not have that notification side of it. In order to deliver this product, I'm going to use an agile waterfall model. It is a model that is taking two different types of methods And the reason I selected this because it allows some flexibility in the delivery dates with the client being out of town and very busy at times because the client does own the establishment. Sometimes those delivery dates get pushed back, or excuse me, not necessarily the delivery dates, but when we have to speak with each other, it gets pushed back. So this allows me to continue to develop the product in iterations without losing any type of productivity time or quality. Now the system will have several types of users. Each user will have to log onto the internet in order to access the system, since it is a web-based system. That web-based system will access a server, which will then give us access to the database, which is going to store all the information that we need about the student, the parent, the teacher, courses, and so forth. It'll store the grade information and the attendance information. One great thing is that there will be no limitation as to what type of browser that you would need to use in order to access. Any web browser should be fine to use. Any operating system would be okay to use. Any device that can access the internet should have the capability of at least viewing the grades and so forth. We're going to add a layer of security to that by requiring some type of authentication when you log in, and making sure that our servers are protected with the firewall. We're going to make sure that we're running Apache Tomcat also. And in addition to that, we will have all protocols in place to make sure that the security is where it needs to be. So the types of users that we have on this system are students, parents, the teacher, the school administrator, the school administrators, and the database itself. The teacher will have the capability to input grades and create grades, or update grades also. They'll be able to create and update assignments, and they will be able to update the attendance. They will also have the capability of sending and receiving emails, but they're sending them directly to the parents, again, not to the student. The parent will have the capability of viewing the email and viewing the attendance information. They can also receive notifications and receive and send the emails. The students will only be able to view attendance and grade information. Now, the school administrator, which could have the same role as a teacher, but is technically anyone that has the permission or rights to set up accounts. We're limiting to school administrators and not teachers overall, because we want to reduce who has the capability of having the same privileges as the administrators. So the administrator will be able to register all your users. So they're going to create the user, they're going to create the courses, they're going to add students to the courses to create the rosters. They will be able to add information about the parent. They're going to assign all the username and passwords. They'll be able to export any type of course data or information to other systems that are used within the educational setting. And they will be basically responsible for making sure that that system stays secure and meets all local and federal mandates as far as to confidentiality when setting up users and course information and so forth. The system itself is going to use a client server architectural style so that it best handles the needs of the email capabilities, and in order to operate on the database, there is no real need for the system itself to run multiple states at one time. So the client server model would be very beneficial for that. As a first semester student. This current design is in the beginning stages. We're at about 40% completion at this point. I should have a working product by the end of April. In addition to that, there may be some additional changes to this overall system in order for it to enhance what is already on the market. I want to thank you for your time. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me by email at mdd27@students.uwf.edu. Thank you.